conversation. Hi, everybody. My name is Melissa Bivelacque. I'm the owner and operator of the Nail and Wax Room in Wallingford, Connecticut, and we are proud to carry Blue Sun Herbals, which is a full line of CBD products. And we are lucky tonight to have Shari Milano, who is the founder of Blue Sun Herbals, with us, and she's going to tell us about her products. So thanks for coming tonight, Shari.
Thanks for having me, Melissa. I'm excited because I love to talk about hemp and all the benefits of CBD. And I know that there's a lot of companies out there. I know there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of misunderstandings. And anytime I can empower somebody to have a better understanding of how hemp can help them in their own life and better their life, then I'm always happy to share that information. So tonight we're going to talk about some of the health benefits of hemp. Can you change the slide? Thank you. When I first got involved with CBD products, it was interesting to me because for many years, I don't know, 25 or 30 years, I've been a holistic health practitioner. And most of the people who come to me have issues either with some type of inflammation, whether it's autoimmune disorders or anxiety or stress. So I was intrigued when I was told that hemp products or CBD products could actually help heal people from some of these disorders that they're plagued with. You know, a lot of people have pain. You know, a lot of people have stress and anxiety issues. And pills and pharmaceuticals are not always the best answer, namely because they end up creating more problems for some people. And they're not good to be on for a long period of time. They never get down to the root cause and actually start to heal you. They just mask your symptoms. So a longtime friend and colleague of mine, Becky, had brought me some CBD products to try. And I was hesitant. I had long issues with my ankle and with chronic Achilles tendonitis, limping a lot. I've always had anxiety forever. And I have low blood sugar. So I started to take it. And one of the first things I noticed is that I wasn't craving chocolate anymore. So I thought, well, that's pretty cool. You know, maybe I'll lose a few pounds, you know, not craving chocolate's a good thing. Then I started to notice that I was sleeping better. I could go in a room, remember what I went in there for, and actually do it. Now that was something that to me, I didn't realize how dysfunctional I was getting. I just attributed it to menopause and having too many things on my mind. But when that started to get better, I really started to take notice. I noticed I wasn't worried about where my Xanax was anymore. I didn't feel the need to worry about that. Then one morning I was walking down to the barn and I wasn't limping. And I said, well, what about that? It took me about a month of using it regularly, but then I was hooked. I realized that this really had some profound effects on me. And if it could help me, just think how many people it could really help, people that come to me for help. So with that information, I sought out sources. I wanted to make sure I knew what I was taking. So that's why Blue Sun Herbals was born. We started in 2018, and you can change the slide, Melissa. Being in Kentucky, we're in the heart of hemp, the hemp world. Kentucky is one of the biggest states historically for hemp. It raised it for rope during the war. Before that, it was just something that always was a good crop until tobacco kind of took over our agricultural section. So I was able to become a Kentucky Proud member with my product. And the rest is kind of history. You know, I have worked hard with a local lab to make sure that all of our products are from small farms. So this helps your small local farmer. It's not big corporate farming operations. It allows us to have better quality control of our product. It's truly knowing where our food comes from, where this nutrition comes from, not just being processed in huge batches in huge factories. So smaller batch, better control, better quality, helping the local small guy. Everything's done in a professional lab, though. Our lab has space on the University of Kentucky's campus. It's a professional lab. It's not just done in some farmer's backyard. So we have a top-notch product that's made by professional chemists, and we are Kentucky proud. Please change the slide. So a lot of people have questions about cannabis. They're not sure what's the difference between hemp and marijuana. Well, it's all the same plant. Cannabis is cannabis, but there's different strains of it. So hemp has a very low THC naturally, and its more famous cousin, marijuana, has a higher THC. So no, hemp will not get you high. All of our products are made under the U.S. Farm Bill, making sure that it's tested in the field to be less than 0.3% THC. So it can never get you high. It's not even close to being able to get you high. But what's important is that it's a full spectrum product, and it uses all the different parts of the plant, including the flowers and stalk and leaves. So it's a very well-rounded product when you can utilize all the different aspects of the plant. If anybody's really into history, go to YouTube and look up Cannabis: The Lost History. It's a fascinating documentary. It's about an hour long of cannabis over the years. And it talks about the history. I think cannabis has been around since like 3000 BC is when was some of the earliest artifacts that they found of cannabis. It's been all over the world. It's always been a medicinal plant. It's been used even as what they considered a holy oil and a very sacred healing tool. So it's only been since the Prohibition time that it was the Marijuana Tax Act, which they get into all that in the movie, and I'm not going to bore you with that. I don't like history, but I did find this particular documentary pretty fascinating. So if you get into that kind of thing, it's only been there's political and economic reasons why cannabis was outlawed, and our systems were actually designed to use this plant. So it's a great thing that we're able to utilize it again. So it has a ton of uses. Like I said before, it's got leaves, flowers, stalks, and roots. And all of those parts can be utilized for different things. And they're just at the tip of the iceberg. I'm excited because they're able to use it as a biodegradable plastic, paper, construction. There's these hempcrete houses. It's just amazing. Besides being able to make medicine or skincare products, or the hemp seeds are excellent. They have a lot of omegas in them that make them really nutritious. The oil that comes from the hemp seeds is in a lot of our products. It's an excellent moisturizer. It has great nutrients for the skin, and you can even make biofuel out of it. It grows quick. It's natural. It has so many natural ways that it can grow without having to have pesticides and herbicides. It's just an amazing plant. The more I learn about it, it just blows my mind. So when we talk about CBD, what is CBD? So it stands for cannabidiol. And it CBD is only one cannabinoid within the hemp plant. Some people say there's between 150 or 120 to 150. I've seen up to 500 different. It's it's still a work in progress. We're still learning more about it every single day. Now that it's a legal plant to be able to study, there'll be tons of studies about it. Each part of this plant has its own medicine, and they're starting to pick it apart and utilize it. But all of our products right now are the whole plant. So, or most of the products use the whole plant. So, but there's terpenes in it, flavonoids in it, and phytonutrients. Things like you'll be hearing more about, like CBG and CBA and the attributes of those. But for right now, the big buzzword is CBD. And that's the one molecule within the plant that most people benefit from. And that's why it has so many followers and so many different uses that we enjoy. So what is important to look for in a CBD product? First of all, where does it come from? Just like, we all say, where does your food come from? You want to know where your CBD is grown, because if it's grown in another foreign country, you don't know what their standards are. It's the type of plant that it is. It actually withdraws, they call it a mop, it takes out toxins out of the soil. And if it's doing that, it's pushing it up into the plant part. You don't want that in your medicine. So it's really important to know where it's being grown and how it's being grown. In Kentucky, all our products have to be third-party tested. So they're tested for herbicides and fungicides and molds, heavy metal toxicity. There's pages and pages of what the tests are. But it also tells you how many milligrams of CBD are in it, and it shows you a full profile range of all the different cannabinoids that are in the plant, including the THC range. There's different methods of extraction too. The process that we use is a cold press type of ethanol extraction. So it's minimally processed. It's more like if your grandma was going to make you a tincture, it's how she would have done it. It's slow, it takes a little bit of time, but it's really gentle on the plants. And it's the most natural way that you can actually extract from the plant. You'll hear of CO2 extraction, where carbon dioxide is forced through the plant material, and it gives it takes out some of the flavonoids and it separates them, and then they put it all kind of back together in the lab. We don't use that technology. Some people say it's better, some people say it's not, but we're going to go with the tried and true old-fashioned way, and we get great results with it. So real happy with that. And you'll also hear some people talk about nanotechnology now and making it water soluble. There's a lot of controversy about that. There isn't anything that I've seen that has convinced me that that is a superior method. It's a lot of processing, and it's by nature, the CBD molecule is larger than a nano. So how can you shrink a molecule? It's not. It doesn't make any sense from a scientific standpoint, from my understanding. The other thing that you'll really want to look for. The other thing that another way that they extract CBD is what's called an isolate. We do have one product that's an isolate. And what that means is they've isolated just the CBD from the plant, and it's usually colorless and it's powderized, and then it can be utilized in different products. There's zero THC in that. So that's just another way of extracting it. All of our products, and another thing that you should look for in considering a CBD product, is that there would be some kind of linking or transparency to the results for your testing. So your bottle should actually have a batch number, preferably a best by date, and and some way to link that batch number over to your test results. Ours actually has a QR code on it that's kind of new for us. We're just in the process of changing over our labeling, and it will link right over to our website. So, oh, we're going to do a giveaway now. Yay. So our first little giveaway is a 2-week supply of our full spectrum hemp extract. So hemp extract, hemp oil, hemp drops, CBD drops, it's all the same thing. It's confusing because there's not a lot of consistency in the marketplace. We're not supposed to call it CBD oil. Some people get hemp oil mixed up with CBD oil, but hemp seed oil is an entirely different animal than hemp extract or CBD oil. So it's really, really kind of have to know who you're dealing with, because people go, oh, I could find that on Amazon for $20 for 1,000 milligrams. Well, you're probably buying 1,000 milligrams of hemp seed oil, and although it's great for omegas, it doesn't have any CBD in it. So be careful what you buy. There's a lot of things out there. But anyway, so if you can find your chat up on Zoom, if you know how to do that, I'll give you a minute to try to look around for the buttons. It's usually up on the top right-hand corner. There should be a drop-down box. And in that chat, the first person to answer my question is going to be the one who wins the 2-week supply. So I want you to name one way that you can use hemp. Melissa's going to help me out with being my
Let's see who the first person is. Oh, Helene said for pain.
For pain? Okay. Helene, that's a great answer. That is a great answer. A lot of people use CBD for pain, and that's just one of a million different things it can help with. So congratulations.
Woo-hoo.
We'll get that out to you. Make sure you leave your contact information for us to be able to ship that out for you. Okay, so moving on. Move on the slide, Melissa. Thanks. So why does hemp work in our body? It's what we would call an adaptogenic herb. And that means that it's going to go in your body and it's going to figure out what you need, and it's going to go there first. That's why when I started to use it, it took care of some things before it took care of other things. And you know, although I was taking it for my ankle, I had all these other wonderful side effects, like I could sleep and think and not have sugar crashes and all that stuff. So, and the reason it does that is because we actually have something called an endocannabinoid system in our body, and there's receptors throughout that whole body, our whole body, that link in with the receptors in cannabinoid oil, or actually all the cannabinoids. So go to the next slide, please. So here's the CB1 and CB2 receptors have they're the most widely known, although there are other receptors as well. But the reason why it helps everybody in some capacity is because we all have these receptors in our body. The longer you use a CBD product, the less you have to use, because your receptors actually get nice and full and work more efficiently. So unlike some products where the longer you take it, the more you need, this almost works the complete opposite, or allows you to continue to use a small amount and still be efficient with it in your body. So who can benefit from CBD? Everybody, because even if you don't have anything chronically wrong with you, there's benefits from it just for maintaining health. As a holistic practitioner, we talk about keeping the body in or bringing it to homeostasis. So what you want is the body to be able to be optimally functioning in all of its systems. And we have multiple systems: your respiratory system, your circulatory system, your central nervous system, etc. So homeostasis is bringing them all into optimal health. That's CBD's job. That is what hemp does best. So everybody, even if you're not experiencing issues, you can avoid experiencing issues in theory by having this supplement in your body. There are some controversies about giving it to people under 18 because of the small amount of THC in it. That's a call as a parent you would have to make if you have a child that's struggling with any type of attention deficit disorder or seizures, or I've had clients that use it for their autistic children with great results, as well as just kids with that are restless and just can't focus. And they all are, it's such a small amount. They do it with their doctor's permission and blessings, because the doctors really don't want to put these kids on all the heavy drugs that have been used traditionally for a lot of these ailments. There's even a lot of people that get great benefits from reduction of seizures. So there's definitely a lot of potential benefits to using CBD oil for a lot of various reasons. Next slide, please. So here's just some more benefits. Like I said, if you can go from head to toes, your brain. That there's a lot of studies coming out now about neuroplasticity and how the CBD actually acts as a neuroprotectant agency. In other words, or agent. It's actually connecting the dots in the brain. It's letting those neurons fire correctly and meet. So tremendous studies going on, people using it to help with Alzheimer's and any kind of degenerative brain conditions, concussions, and all kinds of brain trauma. A lot of studies going on about this. They're making some great headway with it. In your eyes, it's been known for a long time to help with glaucoma. It works within your heart and your circulatory system, but it helps people with reducing their blood pressure. Your stomach, between having help with appetite and just calming and coating and healing, and the same thing with your skin, and of course with your bones. Most of the people that buy it from us have arthritis and have noticed tremendous results with reducing the inflammation. It may not take it all away, but it takes it to where it's bearable and they don't have to take drugs. And so that's awesome. Slide. Here's more benefits. We could probably do a whole slideshow on just slides and slides. And I haven't created any of these slides. I took a lot of them from a website called CBD Educate. Unfortunately, the FDA won't allow us to make any false claims about what CBD can help with, because it hasn't been legal long enough to conclude a lot of the studies that would allow us to make claims. So I don't want to make any claims, but you can see, these are just some of the benefits. I can tell you personally, my own asthma, I haven't used an inhaler since I've started using CBD. I also didn't have to take any allergy medicine for 2 fall seasons, which for me is incredible. I take it for my arthritis and just go back for a second, Melissa. I take it for arthritis. I take it for anxiety. And I do have fibromyalgia. And when I'm getting a little bit of a flare up, I just go a little heavier on the CBD, and it helps me a lot. So I can speak for what it helps me with, and I know it works for me. Go ahead, Melissa. So, how can you take CBD? Well, there's a whole bunch of ways. But if you look at the picture on the right, you can take it topically and rub it on, which we have several different products for that, and I will go into them in more detail. You can also take it in a tablet form. We do not have tablets at this time, and the reason being, if you take it through your gut, you're going to have to take more of it. It doesn't absorb as well into your stomach because your stomach acids kind of break it down and don't allow it to cross the blood to brain barrier as quickly as using other ways. So at this point in time, we're not carrying capsules. I know some people are kind of put off by the taste of it, but we don't have capsules at this point in time. So another way is as an edible. So you can take some of the tincture and put it into food yourself and make products with it, but it is still going through your stomach. And so you would have to use a higher amount of it. Another way that we recommend is using a tincture. So a tincture is taking that extract, which is the really strong concentrate of hemp, and putting it into a carrier oil. We use an MCT coconut oil. There are some companies that put it in hemp seed oil, which tastes disgusting, or they use palm oil. But the MCT coconut oil, it has a really stable shelf life, and it also is one of the easiest ways for as a carrier oil, for it to take that extract and that CBD and get it to cross the blood to brain barrier and get it into your system. So you'd only use a teeny bit and you put it under your tongue. So the other way would be to vape it. And although for a short time we did have some vape products, we got away from it, and glad we did, because then it's the whole thing with all these lung problems started to crop up about a year after that. And gosh, to recommend that somebody take something to help them and have it hurt them was just terrible. So I'm glad that we got away from that. I don't ever see us going back into vape products. It is one of the quickest ways to get it into your system quickly, but also you have to remember it comes out of your system quickly too. So I do want to talk about the difference between pure CBD oil and full spectrum CBD oil. We do carry both kinds. And when they say pure CBD oil, we're talking about an isolate product. So it's just CBD in there. This would have 0 THC. So that is our 0 THC product. It is an isolate product. It doesn't have any taste. It's just a clear oil. So it still works really well for a lot of people, especially if you're worried about drug testing. It has a lot of benefit. It has most of the benefits of the CBD. It just doesn't have the full spectrum. So when we say full spectrum, that oil is made from all the parts of the plant. And it has all of those cannabinoids, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids, and they call it an entourage effect. It has a very hempy, planty taste. It does have that little bit of THC in it. And when we say entourage effect, it means that you're adding all those things together, work together. It's synergistic. The plant, when God made the plant, he made it the way he made it. He didn't make it to start picking it apart and only use parts of it. It's an all-in-one kind of thing. So when you keep it together, you get the full benefits of it, and that's full spectrum. So our hemp extracts, like I said, we have full spectrum and we have pure CBD. The pure CBD is our THC free. The picture is our 750 milligram and our 1500 milligram, which is our extra strength. And then we also have a 500 milligram and our best seller is our 1000 milligram. Go ahead, Melissa, you can change the slide. So I want to talk a little bit about how you take it. I'm missing my pages. Your dosaging is sometimes a little bit tricky to figure out in the very beginning. But the first thing you want to do is start out with about 3 drops, 3 little tiny drops. And it's hard to see what the drops look like when you're putting them under your tongue. But if you've never done this before, I recommend getting a spoon, putting the drops on a spoon, getting used to what that feels like. Put it on the side of your mouth. It's hard to get a spoon under your tongue. But if you can get it under your tongue, side of your mouth, alongside of the gums, let it set in your mouth for about 30 seconds. If you can let it go a minute, that's even better. Let it absorb in there. Swallowing it isn't going to do you that much good. You want to get it in, you want it to get it to cross through in your mouth. We talk about doing microdosing. So instead of taking it all at once in the morning, break it up into 2 or 3 different doses. So I usually recommend doing it in the morning before you've eaten or drank anything. Let it get right into your system. If you're having a chronic problem, I say do it again before lunch, and then do it again in the evening. Now, your evening time, you have to see how CBD affects you. We're all different. None of us are the same. Not even close. So CBD sometimes will perk some people up. Sometimes it kind of makes you tired. You have to see how it affects you. It will help you sleep good, but some people can't take it right before bed. Other people can take it right before bed, just like some people can drink caffeine and some people can't. So you have to see how it affects you. But if you take it, your evening dose, a couple hours before you go to bed, and then you find you have a hard time falling asleep, well, then you need to take it a little bit earlier. Some of the contradictions that people who shouldn't take CBD, the biggest one really is if you have any type of blood thinner. It naturally kind of thins your blood out anyway. So if you're on a blood thinner, it might make it too thin. If you're under a doctor's care and they're monitoring it regularly, and your doctor knows that you're taking it and is willing to let you be tested more often or adjust your doses of your blood thinner, then that's the way you would have to approach that. As far as side effects goes, hey, I had all really great side effects. So I don't know of very many people who have had negative ones. Sometimes if it's interacting with another prescription medicine, you could get a little bit of a headache, although most people take it for migraines rather than having to take heavy duty meds. So I have heard of a few people having a little bit of diarrhea, but usually they're taking higher doses. With this little small dose, you really shouldn't, it shouldn't give you any bad side effects. As far as methods of taking it, we talked about how you would utilize it for, not to use it for food or for, not to use it, we don't necessarily, it's not as effective when you do it through your gut, but you can put a little bit in a cup of coffee or a little bit into some food. I've made different recipes with it. You can use it to cook with, as long as you don't heat it up too much. You don't ever want it to go over 300 degrees. So you can saute it into some foods. So you can get creative with it and utilize small doses of it that way. Topicals. Can't believe I lost my other page. If you saw my desk, you could probably understand why. But okay, so topicals are one of my favorite ways to use CBD. We have a great product that is a picture there of our balm. You can see it's kind of a dark green because it's in a base of hemp seed oil with CBD oil, with coconut oil and essential oils. And you just rub a little bit of that in wherever it hurts, and I'll tell you something, it works quick. 10, 15 minutes, and you're feeling pretty good. So we do have some other pain topicals too, which I'll go over in a minute. But another way you can use topical, we have one that's labeled called Lotion M right now. We are getting ready to change some of our labels and some of our names. And so if you see something and it looks a little bit different, it's probably just the label change, but the product is the same. That's good for eczema, psoriasis, any kind of extra dry skin, problem skin, rashy skin. So topically, it has a lot of benefits for chronic skin conditions. The other thing that we use CBD oil for is we have it in a massage oil. So it's very good for relaxation. It gets into the muscle tissues and starts to affect some of those receptors, which helps relax the muscle, relax the tissues. It gets in there and it relaxes you. And let me tell you, a CBD massage is to die for. Like it lasts so long and you sleep so good. Go ahead, Melissa, switch. So here's some of our topicals. Like I said, our balm in the upper right-hand corner it's probably our best-selling pain lotion or topical. But our lotion XS, which is going to be renamed Potent Lotion, is just as good. It's not as greasy. It does not have any essential oils in it, so it doesn't have that smell, which some people object to the smell of the essential oils. We sell the fire out of that too. Our massage oil is great, and our twist up balm is really handy because you don't have to get anything on your hands. You can go ahead and put it on your lower back or on the bottom of your feet or up onto your shoulders easily without having to stretch, because it gives you another 4 or 5 inches worth of being of reach to get to those hard to reach places. It's great for knees and any kind of arthritic conditions. So that's also in an all natural base. It has 300 milligrams of CBD in it for 2 ounces. So 150 milligrams per ounce is pretty good. Our balm has 250 milligrams per ounce, which is super potent. And all of our topicals are all natural and have high degrees of full spectrum CBD in it. Go ahead, switch the slide. Skincare. This is Melissa's favorite. So with Melissa being a esthetician and being in the beauty industry, we've teamed up together to create some of these products and to formulate them. We look for products that are all natural. Even if they're not certified organic, they're either sustainably raised or as close to organic as you can possibly get. All our skincare products are made in small batches. So that way, because they're all natural and they don't have any of those chemicals in them, you could actually eat. Any of our products, they're that natural that you could eat them, that wouldn't hurt you. Most of them have CBD in it. Not all of them. There's a few that there's no need to have it in there. Go to the next slide, Melissa. So, benefits. CBD is just amazing on your skin. When I first started to use our nutrient face oil, I had a lot of dark age spots on the side of my face. And that was the first thing I noticed, was that they were lightening up. I have rosacea. That started to go away. A lot of the small little lines around my eyes and around my mouth from being a smoker for a lot of years started to go away. And I was just kind of testing out the products at that point. But I was really impressed with it. I don't have any acne or eczema, but I do know people who do have it, and they've told me that firsthand the experiences that they've had with our products that help them. But one of the things I think that's interesting, and this all came from CBD Skin, is that there's evidence to show that CBD actually helps to make your own natural collagen. which is really important when you're trying to repair skin. So just lots of really good benefits from CBD. So we've put it into a lot of our products. Go ahead, Melissa, you can change the slide. Oh, giveaway time again. This time we're going to give away 3 lip balms. So this part of our lip balm line does not have CBD in it. We do have one particular one that does have CBD in it. It's our hemp lip balm, but these don't, but they are all natural and they're wonderful. I've had people who are lip balm junkies rave about it to tell me how much they really like it. And they said it's cheaper than a lot of the ones that they spend twice as much for, and they like it better. So we're going to do the same thing like we did before in the chat box, but this time I'm going to give away 3 of these. So the first 3 people to respond to my question, and so I'm giving you a minute to get ready. And my question to you is, what benefits do you want to get from using one of our CBD products? I'll give you a minute or 2 to answer.
Janet said she wants to relax.
Janet, okay, Janet, that's a great answer. And it's perfect.
Phyllis said she wants to sleep through the night because of her anxiety from all of the COVID stress.
Well, yeah, that's our lip balm won't do that for you, but our CBD oil definitely will help you with that.
And who is the next one here? Oh, and Linda said her knee hurts.
Pain and inflammation is definitely a good benefit of CBD. So, yep, great. You guys are paying attention. I'm proud of you. All right. Go on to the next slide, Melissa. Yeah, and we love our pets, don't we? I have 1 million pets, so I guess I can definitely say I love my pets. So Blue Sun does have a CBD for pets, and I'm going to give you the short story of a long story, but my dog got stolen a couple of years ago from my yard, and she's a big baby. She got stolen around the 4th of July during a thunderstorm. And we were able to recover her the next day. I think they realized she wasn't a purebred and she was fixed, so they weren't going to be able to breed her or do whatever they were going to do to her. And they dumped her about 5 miles from the house. Well, she was scared to death when she got home. And between the thunderstorms and just the trauma, she was beside herself. She wouldn't stop trembling. She wouldn't come out of the closet, and she's a 65-pound dog. So I started giving her some of my CBD for anxiety, and it took 2 days, but I got her to be able to come down to the barn with me. She got to where she would come and bang her head against my leg and look up and make a funny face, and that was her cue that she wanted her CBD oil, because she never makes this face unless I put the drops in her mouth. So that told me that she knew this was helping her. And like I said, it was right around 4th of July. So every time she'd hear a firework, she'd run over to me and she'd start demanding her CBD. So a big dog, you could give the human version, but for small dogs, it's really hard to dose because they don't need very much. So we came up with a pet care formula that's made for your dog. It's in a good, healthy MCT oil, just like ours. And it's the same stuff that we take. All mammals also have an endocannabinoid system. So any animal can have CBD oil. And it does about the same thing it does for people. So it reduces anxiety. It reduces seizures. It helps them with arthritis. It's great for dogs that have even separation anxiety. Or I had a guy last week with a problem dog, and they've had it on Prozac and all kinds of other human tranquilizers, and he hadn't been able to get a good night's sleep in 2 weeks. And first night with ours, he was able to sleep, and he was very grateful. It increases their appetite, especially when the dogs get older. They kind of lose interest in eating, and they also tend to be kind of depressed and lethargic. And this gives them a little pick me up. It really brightens their mood, just like it does for people. So there have been some, we can't prove it at this point. There's tests going on now, but that it actually helps reverse cancer cells, or at least tries to minimize the cell growth, the malignant cell growth of cancer cells. And so even if it's just a preventative or potential preventative, then that's just an extra side effect that's worth it. So we definitely like taking care of our four-legged furry friends. So we have other products too. We'll always be continually expanding our line, but just a few things. We have a men's line that includes an aftershave and a beard oil that both have CBD oil in it. So we call it Hempified because it's got that hemp seed oil and hemp extract in it. We also have some nice iron-on patches that you can put on a backpack or a jacket or a hat. Right now we do have some Connecticut honey with CBD in it. And we have a full line, and it doesn't have CBD in it, but they're essential oil room mists that have been charged with crystals and with some Reiki energy, and they're good for meditation or sprucing up your linens, or just creating a really nice mood in a room. During the holidays and other times, we have little gift packs, like the little package up on the top there is a skincare bundle that has some samples of each of our different skincare in our skincare line. And right now we have that particular bunch going on that has some nutrient face oil and a toner and a face cream and a face scrub and a mask in it. So in a nice little hemp bag. So, and we're throwing in a chapstick too. So that's a nice little special we've got going on. I think we were missing a slide. It might show up someplace else because there was a slide that had all the skincare products, but no. Oh well. It would have been back a ways. Oh well. So there. We didn't see that one before, right? This is just an overview of our skincare line. It's showing our orange facial scrub, and we have a beautiful foaming face cleanser. It's really nice. It's really, you feel squeaky clean, but it's really moisturizing. And gosh, everybody just loves it. We have it in 2 sizes. I only have one picture there. We have an all-natural toner with essential oils, a foot scrub, a mask. Like I said, we've got this beautiful nutrient face oil, which is also called face and eye serum. Like I said, we're changing some names, so I don't mean to confuse you, but we have a lip scrub, we have a day face moisturizer, and a night cream, and they're both awesome. Everybody loves them. And our one in the center is our supple face serum, and we're actually going to be doing a drawing for that. We're going to give that away with a jade face roller, and Melissa's going to tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. So just kind of give you a little overview of some of our skincare line. We already did that one, Melissa. All right. Well, we're gearing down now, but I did have, these are some of the questions I get asked a lot from people. And course, with drug testing, everybody wants to know, will taking CBD products cause me to fail a drug test? And the answer is it might. Anything that has even trace amounts of THC in it could give you a positive drug screening. It's good to talk with your employer, though, because some employers will allow you then to go, if you just take a pass-fail test and you fail, some of them will let you then go and have a blood test to determine the level of THC in your blood. And if the threshold is below a certain level, they'll let you go. I know at one point Kentucky was considering passing a bill that would allow a potential employee, if they did fail, if they had a doctor's note and they had a receipt and they were able to pass that blood test at their own expense, that they shouldn't be penalized from a job, because it is a legal product. So until some of the screenings get more refined, and until some of the employers start to change their human resource requirements, you're going to have to talk with your potential employer on a case-by-case basis. But we do have the THC-free product, which should not ever give you a problem because there's no THC in it. A lot of people ask how long a bottle will last them. Well, it's like anything else, depends on how much you use. But if you use the recommended 3 to 5 drops twice a day, our 30 milliliter bottle should last about 3 months, which is a pretty good value. Our 15 milliliter or milliliter bottle should last you about 6 weeks. Our little 5 milliliter bottle should last you 2 weeks. So are CBDs addictive? No. There's no evidence anywhere that there's any kind of addictive qualities. In fact, they're using it with people who have addiction issues to help wean them off of it because of the way it reduces anxiety and stress, and it just allows that body to try to come back into balance, like we talked about before, bringing it into homeostasis. So I wouldn't worry about being addicted to CBD at all. Of course, you'll want it because it makes you feel healthier. It doesn't make you feel high. So, and can you travel with hemp products? I spoke to somebody who works at TSA, and as long as it's in the packaging that shows that it is below the 0.3%, it's not a problem to travel with it within the United States. I don't think I'd go out of the country with it just because you really don't want the hassle. Some country, it's unclear. You can leave the country with it, but whether you get back in the country with it is another story. So it's probably not worth the risk at this point in time. Laws are changing every day. They're changing all over the world. More people are realizing the benefits, but like with anything, it's going to take a while before there's standards, and we're just not there yet. But as long as you carry less than the amount legally that you can bring of fluids on a plane, which I guess is 4 ounces. I don't know why you'd need to bring 4 ounces of hemp oil with you for a trip unless you're going for a long time. It's perfectly safe to travel with it. And I don't know if anybody else has any questions at this point for me. The only thing that I really wanted to, you can change slide, Melissa. We are going to do a raffle, and there is a disclosure that the FDA doesn't allow us to make any claims, and I do have a disclosure that you can read. And other than that, we can open up to questions, and then we'll give you the information on your giveaway and the information about what a great product it is.
So there are a couple questions. One is, can other animals besides dogs use the animal tincture?
Yes, cats, horses, any mammal.
Okay.
So,
The other was, what kinds of medications can you not take with CBD?
well, anything that has a warning on the label for to to not take it, to not eat grapefruit. And it's not that you can't take it, it's just going to intensify the effect in the liver. So you'd want to give it about a 2 or 3 hour window in between taking that medicine and your CBD. So I always tell people, if you're not sure, give it the space. Um, don't stress your liver out, and um, don't waste your CBD. so so give it that couple hour window, and it shouldn't be any issues. There are some things online that you can look up for contraindications. They're not always cut and dry, but if you did have concerns, you could just Google your particular drug with interactions for CBD and see if it shows up. Most of the ones that I've looked at, it's mostly just your cardiac type medicines are the ones that you need to be careful with, particularly your blood thinning medications. But if it does say not to take with grapefruit, that's just an indication that it's going to intensify in your liver because of the enzymes, and to just give it a couple hours spacing.
The last question was, what was the name of the documentary that you had mentioned earlier?
It's called Cannabis, A Lost History, and it's on YouTube. Cannabis, A Lost History. It's about an hour long. It's very well done. It covers from like prehistoric man to current times. So it goes through a lot of time in an hour, but it's very informative.
I'm bringing myself on here. Okay. See my actual face instead of a photo. So I do want to touch a little bit on what you said earlier about the little skincare kits that you sold for holidays. We do have a bunch on our website right now, on the Nail and Wax Room website. So I know Sun is sold out of them, but the Nail and Wax Room does still have some for sale. We are actually doing them as part of our do-it-yourself kits that we have available right now. Except mine are a little different than Blue Sun's. So it's all of the items that were in that photo. I wonder if I can go back to that photo. Oh, there it was. So it's the facial toner, the face and eye serum, the moisturizer, the mask, and the exfoliator, but mine does not include the lip balm. Instead, I actually included a cleanser. So nice. All of the foaming cleanser, and I also have it for the same price that Shari was offering it, and it's for $30 right now. It does also include a set of facial sponges, so grab them if you want them. I don't think I have very many left, so they're really great right now for do-it-your-home kits while everybody's stuck at home. So we'll talk a little bit about jade rollers and the benefits of jade rollers and of the supple serum. So we have the hyaluronic acid serum, which is our supple serum, and that is 50 milligrams of CBD. It is mostly made of hyaluronic acid, so it's really great for moisturizing, plumping the fine lines and wrinkles around the eyes and the nasolabial fold over here. Anybody who's just lacking that vibrancy, it's a really great product for them. So paired with the jade roller, the jade roller is actually something that was originated from traditional Chinese remedies. It was to massage the face, and the purpose of it was to improve circulation. It makes your skin look brighter. It plumps up fine lines and wrinkles, and it also helps with the product absorption. So when you are looking to, you know, again, a time like this, you're at home, what am I going to do with my time? You know what? Do a nice little technique on yourself. Cleanse your skin first, and any type of products work best and they penetrate better when you first exfoliate your skin. So if you wanted to obviously try, we're going to tell you to try our scrub. You're going to cleanse, then you're going to exfoliate, then you'll apply your serum, and then you're going to roll. And again, you can roll for different reasons. One would be like to contour, to kind of like contour out different areas of your face and tighten the areas. One could be for just boosting your natural detoxification process by encouraging lymphatic drainage. Lifting, toning. One thing that I love to do is actually keep my stones in the refrigerator. So actually in my treatment room, I have a small one of those little mini 6-pack fridges, but I keep product in it. So I keep my cold globes and I keep my jade roller in there. So especially in the summertime, it's really nice to do a treatment and work the jade roller. It takes down all that puffiness, especially down around the eye area. Any time of year really, but even more so in the summer, just people come in, they're very warm. I also use it actually after waxing sometimes too. And then just the fact that it's a stress reliever. So any kind of massaging is a stress reliever, and that's what the jade roller is meant to do, just massage the skin, and that's how it helps the product absorption. So to do it, like let's just imagine my little highlighter here is the jade roller. And it has 2 sides. This one has 2 sides, right? Yep, the small stone and the large stone. I had to look at the picture. So if you have the small stone, it's going to be for around the eye area or even in the contours of the mouth and the nose. And then your large is for your cheeks, your forehead, and your chin. So I always like to start at my chin, and I actually work up in an upward motion. And that's kind of going to help with the plumping. And then I actually take it and then I work down. So I would take it from here and work down the neck, and then from the chin outwards and down. Here, outwards and down, and then that's going to help take any of that lymphatic puffiness and drain it. And just gently, you don't have to go really hard. You don't want to go vigorously. The only person that this would not be good for is somebody who has like active acne breakouts or any kind of flare-ups or open lesions of any way that you would not want to go over the jade roller with. So that's my summary of jade rollers and supple serum.
Does it help you to firm up the skin under the chin?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was where I was talking about just with the contouring. Sorry, I should have said, my word of it. So you just kind of want to go back and forth and contour the areas of concern. So like usually it's like the cheekbone area or right here under the chin.
Cool.
Okay.
So go back, Melissa. We didn't tell them how to register to win that.
My bad. So we are going to, in order to, am I telling them or are you telling them?
No, you're going to tell, because you're also going to give them the code.
Oh, okay.
For the other thing.
Well, that's the other thing, yeah. So in order to be the winner for this, we're going to pick one winner for this item. You need to go onto the bluesunherbals.com website and register for our mailing list. And we're going to take all the entries that get from this point until Friday at 3 o'clock. So tomorrow at 3 o'clock, you have until to go ahead onto the website, bluesunherbals.com, enter your name into our mailing list. And then from the list of names that I get, we're going to do the generator on the phone that goes ahead and picks the winner for us. We just don't randomly pick a name. And then we're going to go on Facebook tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. and we are going to do a Facebook Live with the winner. So we'll announce the winner live tomorrow evening on the Blue Sun Herbals, right? Blue Sun Herbals Facebook page, we decided?
Yep.
We are also, am I telling them the other code now, or is there another page for that?
You can go ahead and do it now. The only other side is the disclaimer.
Okay. So the other offer that we have for everyone is while you are up on the Blue Sun website, go ahead and look at all of the beautiful products that we have in the store now. Anything that you purchase is going to be on sale. And we have a code, and it is going to be NWR20, and that's going to get you 20% off any of these products from now until Sunday the 26th at 11:59 p.m. So 20% is not anything that I've ever offered at the Nail and Wax Room before. I don't know, Shari, do you ever do big discounts like that? We don't.
No, usually no. This is kind of the 2020, launch
Yeah.
of the website. Granted, the website is still being tweaked, so it may not have all the information that you need today or tomorrow, but keep checking, over this next week or so, it should all be good. But if you have any questions, just reach out to us and we will be happy to answer your questions.
Yes. So again, from right now until Sunday, which is April 26th, because somebody might watch this later on at a different time, Sunday, April 26th, 2020, you have until 11:59 p.m. to receive 20% off any of the Blue Sun products on the bluesunherbals.com website. The Nail and Wax Room does sell all of these products. However, I do not have them up on our website at this time. But if you are looking to purchase anything and pick it up, I can certainly take those orders for you. Otherwise, Blue Sun is currently also offering free shipping right now for everybody too. So either one of us can help you with the order and the discount. I guess it really would just depend on where you're watching us from. So the code is NWR20 if you're in Connecticut, in Wallingford, and you want to pick it up from me, that's fine. If you're anywhere else in the United States or wherever you might be watching it from, I would just go on the website and order it directly from Blue Sun. And that was it, right?
That's it, yeah.
Okay. So you can talk about the disclaimer.
Well, it's just that the FDA is just being really strict with all of us right now, and for good reason, because there are a lot of crummy products out there making claims. Like recently, there's people saying it would cure COVID. It's like, really? You can't be saying stuff like that. It's just crazy. What people would say anything to make a dollar. I mean, I know it helps with a lot of different things, but it's not going to help everybody with everything. And but I have integrity and our product has integrity. I can't speak for all the companies in the world, but the FDA is being really careful to be sure that nobody misrepresents any products. And so, this isn't made to take, to not use your medicines, and you shouldn't use it in as a substitute for the advice of your own doctor. So we need to say that, and I just want to be as transparent and upfront as we can. So right. We'll keep you happy.
Black page. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Melissa, for having me today to talk about our
coming. It's great to see you.
It was fun to do this, and I enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else did and got some good information. And if you ever have any questions that come up down the road, just reach out to either one of us. And if we don't, we'll get back with you if we're not readily available to answer. So
just as a recap, don't forget to go on to bluesunherbals.com, which is right there in front of you, and you are going to sign up for the mailing list. And between today and tomorrow, which is April 24th at 3 p.m., we are going to choose a winner live tomorrow at 7 p.m., April 24th. And you have until Sunday, April 26th at 11:59 p.m. to use the coupon code NWR20 on the bluesunherbals.com store. Again, thank you, Shari, for coming, and we look forward to having you back again.
Okay, sounds great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.